whether the classic wedding is an online exclusive. I think other than this, I've only ever done one online exclusive, and that was the Irresistible Blooms. I don't tend to use online exclusives hugely because most of the people I'm sort of like in touch with tend to want the catalogue and want to look at a catalogue rather than looking online. So so I focus on more on the catalogue, but there's quite a lot of online exclusives that are really, really nice, and I wanted a cakey type one, so I got this. And I won't lie, I've not really played with it much. This is me just this morning using the stamps just to sort of get an idea of what they do. I've cut a few dies out, and that's it. My preparation today is pretty rubbish, but it doesn't mean that I can't craft with it. It might just mean that it takes me a bit longer to work out what I'm doing, and the result might not be as nice as I wanted them. Okay, so anyway, it comes as a stamp set and dies. All of these dies fit in the little mini cut and emboss, so that's fantastic. As you can see, we've got lots of sentiments: celebrate, anniversary, birthday, wedding day, and the happy. So obviously you can put happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy wedding day. So yeah, you can make up quite a few different sentiments with that. We also have little candles. These are like little starry, sparkly bits. This is like a bit of, I don't want to say grunge because that makes the stamp set sound as though, you know, you wouldn't want grunge on your cake, would you? So I think it's more texture. Okay, so when you stamp that one, you could use it as like a texture stamp to make your icing or your sponge look more textured. So yeah, so there's that. There's some little flowers and some leaves, so, and we've got the dies to go with those. Actually, there's a little banner in the dies. I'm trying to work out what some of these bits are. I think this bit here would cut out the candles. Once you've stamped them. Okay, so you've got your plate or your cake stand. Again, we've got the die, and then I believe this die, yeah, also fits in there. So you could have it as a let me show you. I've got a silver one that I've just cut from here, but you could add another layer, another definition, maybe in a different colour, or just to give it a bit more definition of this. So it's up to you. So that's that bit. We've got, these are like, I mean, obviously you could probably put your sentiments in these. Some of them, your sentiments will fit. Rightly or wrongly, I've cut some out thinking cake. you know, so 2-tier cake. Then you've got icing. These bits here cut strips. I haven't cut any of those out yet, but we can always do that. And obviously 3 strips for the bigger one, which you can then put in as your ice, you know, your cream. There's all sorts. Okay, so I'm not going to promise you fantastic crafting. This is going to be a bit of a play. See what happens. As I say, we'll have a look at the stamps, get some ideas on what they're doing, and we'll also look at the dies. And I think the first one I'm going to do, I am going to use some stamps, and I've got my die machine set up behind me because I didn't think you'd want to see me bashing around with dies so much. So I don't know whether this is going to be big enough. It might not be. It might be for a single layer. But we can try. We can see what will happen. So this is going to go on a white base, which is already cut to 8 inches by 5 3/4, scored at 4. So my next layer is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so that will go on there like so. First of all, I'm going to decide whether, you see, this is, I can put my cake on there. That one's going to be possibly too big, but I could put a sentiment on there. We'll see. I might just put a I might just put a bit of card that I've trimmed. A piece of scrap paper. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to use silver. And while I'm not, I'm going to use the stamps first. Okay, so I'm going to want the cake stand. And then see whether how big what size we can get it. This is a really good way of working out what things will fit. So it could be like that. Okay, so first of all I'm going to get some blocks. Now I know they'll fit, and the first one I'm going to do, I'm using, this is Smoky Slate. And I'm going to stamp off first, and then I'm going to pop it right down at the bottom. Okay, so that's our cake stand. Okay, so I've got Pretty in Pink. It's a bit stiff, that one, so Pretty in Pink there. Let's just pop these on. Okay, so by stamping it off, I'm going to struggle now to see that. I just need to line it up a bit and make sure it's sort of central if possible. Okay, so you can get texture by doing that. Let me just show you what it will look like. So I stamped off on that one, and then if I'm going to do a full generation stamp, so don't stamp off on this one, you get a bit more of a, I don't know, is it called oh, I don't know what it's called, but you often see these cakes with buttercream or sort of on the sides, but the cake showing through, or I don't know. I am not a professional cake maker. So again, I'm going to stamp off. I have to keep standing up to make sure that I'm getting this. I can see it above the camera, so. Okay, right, so I am going to put these bits on just to add some sparkle. First of all, I want my little candles and the flames, because this one is a birthday cake. I'm just going to have a tiny little block for these. Okay, I have to stamp them to see which way up they go. Oh, right, so I've got lemon lolly I'm going to use for my flames, and I'm going to use this pretty, so it is very pink, but it's fine. It's going to be Pretty in Pink again for the candles. Right, what way up do they go? Okay, so you can see the flames. Oh, I think I need to get another glue. It's been got lots of glues that are open, but they've been let down, and where I haven't been in here much the last week, they sort of dry. You get like a little bung form. Just going to spread that across there. this white glimmer is so pretty. It's got so many different colours in it when you can see it in the light shining. So it's absolutely perfect for your icing. However you can see the shininess. Oh, I just popped it. Okay, so let's just pop this one. On there first of all. It's going to go like that, and then let me have a think. I think I'm going to get I think what I might do possibly is I've got some of this, so I've already cut it out in white because that was from the other week when I was playing with it. What I might do is just show you a way of using your markers. So these are again Stampin' White markers. These are the in colour ones. So you can either use markers, you could use blends on it, but I think it'd be easier with markers. And we've got 2 size tips on here. So one is a bullet point, so that's really good for journaling and colouring the finer details. And then this one is a brush tip. So what we can do, quite quickly, just colour this in. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just it'll just go against the white background and make it stand out. Okay, so let's just pop this onto here. Just one of the best ways would be to use our adhesive sheets and pop it on before you cut it out, but if you don't do that, then you can, or you forget, which is often what happens with me, is I forget to use them. Just pop some little dots of glue around. It doesn't have to be on every letter, it'll just hold it. And it won't all burst out from the edges. There you go, look. So that's really easy way, if you haven't got the cardstock colours but you've got the pens, just cut it out in white and colour it in. It's and then what I'm going to do is put this one on dimensionals, I think. And I apologise in advance, we've got the food recycling people just turned up, so hopefully they won't be too noisy. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this one down. I'm not going to stick it on dimensionals, but you could, and again you could even cut it out on foam pads. Should have folded that first, but there we go. So there's a quick and reasonably simple birthday card using these cake dies and stamps. I'll pop that one out the way. Now, as I say, I've not planned in huge details. I've not got everything cut. Sometimes I'm like this, and yeah, that's fine. You don't have to, if you, I'm not good at planning too far in advance at the moment. Got so much other stuff going on, but I'm going to use, for this one, I'm going to first of all use the a basic beige base. I am going to, and this may seem really really odd, but I'm going to use again a basic beige layer that is just slightly smaller, so 3 3/4 by 5.5. And the first bit I'm going to do is stamp on it, and I'm going to do it so that I can add some, just add some texture. I don't know what this is going to look like. We're just going to try it and see. So I'm going to use basic beige. Very beigey at the moment, but it will change. And this is just a tone on tone random sort of stamping background. We'll see what it comes out like. Some of this in the middle will be covered up anyway, so it's not, you don't necessarily have to go all the way around the middle as well. But just so that you've got a nice cover, just adds a bit of difference, I suppose. Okay, I need to just give some of these a clean, because I've just been putting them down rather than, I don't need many of these ones now, but this is just our chamois with some water on. It's always, especially if you're using dark colours, it's always best to get them clean as soon as you can. generally when I'm filming, I just end up piling them up. Okay. And the grungy one. Right, so I have got these bits, and if you remember, this is the Evening Elegance paper from the Christmas catalogue. Some bits are a bit too, maybe, I don't know, is it too gold? Would it be better with, I think it'd be maybe better like that, and then some extra sparkle on it. I also want a smaller layer, so rather than die cutting it, I'm gonna use this, and I'm going to cut it down a bit so that's maybe three and a quarter, so that's 3/4 of an inch from the main card base size. So, and I'll do it by 5 and see what that's like. I might cut it down again. We'll have a look. So if that goes on there, and don't worry about it, I know it's beige, but I might even cut that. I'm going to cut that smaller. I want to be able to put the cake on it, so I don't want it too small, maybe. So this is now 2 3/4. So if I cut it at 4 1/2, I'm probably then gonna build my cake and stamp. And then there's some other bits as well that I want to do. Let's just check. Okay, so you get quite a nice bit of detail around there. Just trying to see what I've got. Celebrate maybe. Or is that? Anniversary, that says there, so I might just, so let's take that off. I want a happy and the anniversary. Now we're adding gold to it, so this is totally off plan of what I was going to do, but I am going to Versamark and heat emboss this in gold. I just need to set up my heat tool, but I do quite like just going with the process and seeing where it takes you, because that then helps with you know, for other crafters to see that we don't have to plan we can just go ad hoc and see where it takes us. Right, so I've just stamped in Versamark. Hi Adriana. Oh, thank you, darling. That's really kind of you. Okay, so I'm just going to pop. Right, so I'm not going to bring the heat tool over here. I'm just going to pop off screen 2 seconds to do that. You'll hear it, unfortunately. I don't think it will fit. Oh, it might fit. We get it ready. If you've not seen this before, it's the way the heat, I don't know if I can bring it up, melts the powder. I've had so many people come to class and use this and think it's magical. So there you go. Right, now I've got to find somewhere to keep that without it being too hot. And get rid of that. Seriously, I'm running out of space today. Okay, so we've got some gold on there now, so that's going to go like that in the middle. So we've got a gold. So this is obviously this would be great for a 50th wedding anniversary or any other sort of wedding anniversary. I might leave that one with gold and that one as plain, because I think the gold bit's a bit too much. Okay, so oh god, I'm going to maybe cut this out and I'm going to lower this down. It should all fit. Now I can do that in gold to match, or I could do it in a different colour, white or something. But I think I'm going to put it in gold. I'm just going to run that through the machine. Looks like teeth. Here's the way it's come out of there. I've got my take your pick tool. Oh, it's ever so delicate. I don't think you don't really get the true idea of it until you take it out and you cut it. Could you see how delicate this is? So that's going to go up there. Now there's leaves and flowers. Do I want some icing? I probably do want icing, don't we, on there? What are we going to do it in? I think I've got some cream. I might use this for the icing. We'll see. I'll cut it out and we can see what it looks like. I'm not sure I want more gold. Okay, so when you cut this, you get two pieces. You get the small one on the top and the bigger one. I'm just going to pop those out. Let's have a look, see what we think. This could even have been an ivory, I guess, vanilla. I think that looks okay. So I'm going to stick those on, give it a bit of extra bling. Can never have too much bling, I think. Oh, so many delivery people about today. This is a bit like the icing drip for drip cakes, isn't it? So and there's all sorts, you know, if you think about all the different colour cakes, different types of cakes that you can do, different colour icings, and then the drips being slightly darker maybe. There's endless options, I think, for this sort of this set. Okay, so I'm going to pop that, try and get it in the middle as best as possible. It's so much easier putting die cuts on at a distance rather than the trying to stamp. Now this here I am going to just cut down slightly because it is slightly too big for the space, but that's fine because all I'm going to do is chop a little bit off, and then it's fine. Now this would be brilliant with our adhesive sheets, but I didn't realise that those bits were going to be quite so thin. That's okay. These seem to be quite popular on cakes, don't they? These types of bannery things now. Right, so I'm going to put a colour with this, and I want quite a, could leave it like that, but I just feel that maybe I need a bit of I don't know, a bit of colour, possibly. It's one of those where you think, do I want to leave it like that, or do I want to add something like Berry Burst? I wonder whether Berry Burst would look okay in flowers. Let's have a Berry Burst, and what we need a leaf as well. This is one of my favourite colours, Berry Burst. And you may have guessed I'm a purple girl. But let's just pop that off. These might not end up going on. They're just going to be, it's just going to be a little trial, see whether it works. We have flowers. Got a few different, 3 sizes of flowers, but I'm going to use 2. See what they're like. Not sure. I am not sure. I'm going to cut them out. If I can get the dies off, I'm going to cut them out and see whether they go. Okay, let's have a bit of an experiment. They might have needed to be on. Actually, I don't want white because white's going to really be stark. So let's find a piece of vanilla. I've got tons of scraps. All these scraps, I just stamp them on the vanilla. See whether that. Might even give it a bit of a softer approach. Let's see. Okay, bear with me while I just cut these out. Just need to get it lined up. Again, it's not having used them, it's just takes a minute just to check out where they go. And they're tiny. Okay, so there's the ones, the full colour ones. I'm not sure I'm going to use the other ones at the moment. I just want to see what these look like first against the colour. See, even that to me looks a bit too white. I'm going to leave it without for now. I might have another play with another one later and add some more colour to it, but I think I'm going to leave those off. And therefore I'm just going to stick this one together. Yeah. Pop some of that on. And I've got some of this. I'm just thinking about whether, if you haven't seen this is absolutely gorgeous. It's from the Wildflower birthday suite. Just wondering whether to add a bit of that just to just behind. Just adds it a bit more, another bit of texture. I'm not one for doing too many layers normally, but it just gives it another bit of texture. Right, so to stick this down, I'm going to use tearing tape. Pop it. Just going to pop it off like that. Put it on a slight angle. Now I'm going to put this on my dimensionals. I could have used a one of the many sort of die cuts that we've got. Sometimes I think it's really good for people to be able to see that just using a cut up piece of card works just as well as any of the fancy dies. Okay, so I don't know, it's not necessarily how I envisaged it, but it's come together okay. I'm quite happy with it. I don't know how I envisaged it, to be honest with you. So, two very different, very easy cards, you know, dies mainly, stamping, but it's from the online exclusive called Cake Celebrations. So I'm sure I will make some more cards and put some more online for some more inspiration. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to sign off now and leave you to get on with the rest of your day. Take care. Bye.